Finally got my workbench cleaned up somewhat. Still got a mess everywhere else, so, but starting right direction, I guess. Okay, I've decided to take my intake that I got, my old 1-barrel intake, and put an adapter on it to run a 2-barrel. And the 2-barrel that I got is a 500 CFM 2-barrel, and it'll work out pretty good. I just got a base plate with good parts, and this one with some parts that I need to replace this to the standard 30-60 squirter arm, and just use some good parts off of it that basically take two and make one. So getting ready to take this thing apart and get it all cleaned up, put a kit in it. Alright, just got finished lapping all the valves. Got water in each runner and no leaks. It's been sitting for, I don't know, about 5 minutes, I guess. It's like a piece of grease. Nothing. We're good. Before, they were tearing pretty good. So, we're good. I'll get this thing cleaned up and paint it. Look who come to join me. No, I'm not taking this out, buddy. I'm tightening it down.
Oh.
Alright, making a little bit of progress. Test fitting this manifold. So it looks like I'm going to have to cut this ear off, and that one can stay, and then looks like that's it from what I can tell. Yeah, and I see I got an open hole here in the gasket and in the head, and then right there, so we're good there. Seems like the hole, this diameter, I might have to drill that diameter out because that don't look big enough for these bolts. So I'll have to check that. It looks pretty small. Anyway, we'll get it. And just like that, boom, perfect. So looks like there's two that the factory 70, this is a 75, this is from a 75. Looks like there's two holes that the EFI uses that the older ones don't, and that will be this one. There's a hole in my head for it, but not in the gasket. And where's the other one? And I believe that one, yeah, this one. Other than that, they're all the same, but that's fine because I'll be getting it crimped down right here, and it'll be crimped down right here with this bolt. So I won't need that one right by it, and I won't need this one right by it. If it becomes an issue, which I don't think it will, I'll get the EFI style gasket, and I'll have the spot for that. But I'll be able to put it here, you know, and then same on the bottom. So, all right, one step forward. Alright, I've got the 2-barrel carburetor together other than the base plate gasket right there. I'm waiting on it to come in. Everything else is good. I took my meter and block and my bowl off of my 750 that I had put together right there. And I'm going to use it for now until I can get another one. I thought I had one. I know I got one somewhere around this mess, but anyways, to get my truck going so I'm not looking everywhere for it for 2 weeks, use this one for temporary. And then whenever I locate it or I get my hands on another one, I'll put this back on there. So I'll have my complete 750 still, and I'll be able to put this one back together. But what I'm working on now is I made this plate for the TPS sensor. So my truck is a E4OD transmission, and I've read some forums and they said if you have your stock distributor, your stock computer, stock computer, stock distributor, TPS sensor, stock TPS sensor, or a TPS sensor, and your map sensor, the transmission should still shift. So I'm going to give it a try. So what I did is to get my TPS sensor to work, that's the shape of it. The actual mechanism that turns is spring loaded. So what I did is came down to the screw where the old choke used to be, and it was already taken off when I got this carburetor. So I grooved that screw there so that it fits on that. It'll, you know, the grooves will sit there and there. It fits perfectly, just like that. See? Perfectly. And as I press the throttle, which I can't do because I got one hand occupied with the phone, it'll move the TPS sensor. So all I'll have to do is extend the harness, because the factory TPS was on the throttle body. I'll just have to extend that harness over to this side, and it should, theoretically, it should work. Now what I'm gonna have to do is, you see how it kind of stood off? So I'm gonna have to, this is just the plate is just temporary bolted on. What I'm gonna have to do is bolt this to the plate, but have this plate stand off. So I'm gonna have to put some spacers behind it and have it stand off, and it should work out pretty good. I think I forgot to drill that hole there also, so there'll be another hole there, but let's see, yeah, it'll clear. With the sensor on it, it'll still clear because it's right there, so that'll be perfect. I wish there was one more on this side, but there's not, so I'll work with what I got. It should be stiff enough. What I'll do is I'll get some probably like some 5/8 tubing of some sort, like probably even brake line would actually work for that, the diameter of that screw. I can't remember what diameter that is. And use them as spacers for the back instead of building up a bunch of washers, you know. So anyways, I'll get to that. I can just plug this in to get the truck cranked up, and once I get the truck dialed in, because I got to break in the camshaft and all that, so I'll have other things to worry about for now. But once I get the camshaft broken and get the truck idle, you know, where it's idling and a timing set, then before I'm ready to test drive it, then I could deal with all this. But while it's raining outside and I can't do much outside, I'm kind of modifying this, getting it ready, so it won't be so much work when the time comes. Alright, so my boy Anthony, 79 Beans, came through for me, and let me see here. and hooked me up with some lifters. These are not only standard lifters, these are a Crower, the super nice high-tech stuff. See, they've got this little, let's see if I can find it. See if the camera will pick it up. You can barely see it right there. It's like a sort of like a little flat spot, I guess. I guess what that allows, it allows it like to be like a canal, sort of, to keep lubrication a little bit more. And let lubrication get down to the camshaft, I guess. I don't know. I really don't know how it works, but these are awesome. Brand new. Brand new. Brand new. So I appreciate that. That helped me out a lot, because otherwise I was just going to throw some stock ones in there, and the stock ones are about, I don't know, I think they're like 70 or 80 bucks. But these are way better, and that helped me out a lot. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Anthony is one of the nicest dudes I know, man. He'll give you the shirt off his back if you needed it. There we go. A little fatter. Gotta be about out of gas. RPM sitting at about, what we at? We at 650, 700. They could probably afford to come up just a little bit. Oh, I heard it lean out. It's about to run out of gas. Maybe not. Alright, so I got the truck cranked up. It runs good. I was fighting the intake leak a little bit for I don't know, a couple days. I finally got it figured out. Some reason, it was like that back number 6 runner was leaking a little bit. What I ended up having to do was put a little bit of thin layer of fuel resistant silicone on that back runner, and torque the intake from the center out, and it ended up working pretty good. I don't know if the intake's got, you know, I mean, I took it off, I cleaned it, put it on flat surface. It does have a little bit of warpage to it, but I'm not trying to spend a bunch of money on that intake, because I am going to upgrade to a 2 or 4 barrel as soon as I run across a good deal on one. So I got it to seal up. It's good enough for just daily driving it. And I put a 2-barrel carburetor adapter on it. So it's a 1-barrel intake with a 2-barrel adapter, so I can run a 2-barrel, and it works good so far. The fuel system, I'm having really bad fluctuation in the fuel system. I was having that issue even with the EFI on it. These trucks have these check valves on each tank. It's got 2 tanks, the front and the rear, and those check valves go bad, and those check valves are like $200 something a piece, and I'm just not doing that. So what I'm going to do is just eliminate the front tank and run my own fuel lines to the back tank with just 5/16 aluminum tubing, and because the truck's, it doesn't need 3/8, so I'm just going to do 5/16 and then to the pump, and then have my regulator up front. So I'm going to do a feed and return. So, and it should be fine from there. But I had an accident the other day. I broke my wrist. When I was out riding my mountain bike in the trail, just going too hot in the turn, and some pine straw and leaves on the ground, and I went down. So it happens, you know, no big deal. I'll bounce back 4 to 6 weeks, or maybe 8 weeks, I don't know. They're talking maybe possibly surgery, but I set it back in place myself when I was in the trail because I saw it broken, and they didn't. I went to the ER. They didn't have to reset it or anything. They said I set it probably about the best it's going to get. So I got to go to the ortho and see what they think. But if I need surgery, it's going to be another 3 to 6, probably 3 or 4 weeks down after that. and then physical therapy. So I'm still able to do some stuff with my hand. Like I can still move my fingers, dig in. I can still move my fingers, but I just gotta be careful. So I'm gonna try to get a few things done. I still need to make a throttle bracket for the truck. Yeah, there's some stuff I need to do. I need to drain the oil out since the camshaft is broken. You know, there's some stuff I can still do. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to run the fuel lines underneath the truck with one hand. So, what do? Keep going. There ain't nothing to it but to do it. Catch you on the next one.